Memory for video. So I think one of the most important things to remember is that video is basically a sequence of photographs. 24, 60, 120, 240 frames a second. So you might think that your memory card is perfectly fine because it handles your photos, but if you're getting into video, it's kind of a different ball game. You definitely have to pay attention to the speeds a little bit more and be careful because it's a lot of memory going into that card, way more than it would be with a photo. We carry a bunch of stuff at the store, traditional SD cards, and then some of the beefier memory that a lot of the newer cameras, especially video focused ones, use. First, you got your SDs. We carry a few different brands, the ProMaster Rugged series, regular ProMasters, Hoodman Rugged Steel, the Lexars. Now there's a few different categories of SD cards. Nowadays, you're looking at two different things. You're looking at the UHS rating. There's two of those, UHS 1, UHS 2, and then you're looking at the V rating. These kind of go hand in hand. The UHS ones, they have two V ratings. So you have your UHS 1, and you do a V10 and a V30. Now, as you would expect, the higher the number goes, the more speed that the card has. Then you bump over to UHS 2, and that's where you find V60 and V90. Again, higher the number, more speed. When you're getting into video, if you're doing very basic, say you have an older camera, you're doing 720p, basic 1080p, going with the UHS 1 is okay. I don't know how much I'd recommend it for any even slightly newer camera. V30, you can find drop frames, it'll choke up, it's not gonna be as fast. The V30s are good cards, but I'd reserve them mostly for photography. That leads you to looking at UHS 2. UHS 2 is absolutely the way to go for video. You have your two ratings, your V60 or V90. These are just examples as well. Most of these brands have different ratings, but UHS 2 is where you want to be for video. So you have your V60s. That's your kind of mid-range. That's right at the beginning of UHS 2. These are fast. There's not a lot that these can't handle. For most people, especially starting out with video, V60 is fine. You're gonna get your 1080 high speeds. If you're getting into 4K, this can handle 4K, probably up to about 60 frames a second. So for most people, V60 is fine. And these are very affordable cards. As you go up in your speed rating, the cards do get more expensive. You have your V90s. These are as fast as an SD card can get. This can cover most things. If you don't have a video-centric camera, this is going to be fine for you in pretty much any capacity. 4K, high speed, there's barely anything this can't do. When you surpass the capabilities of a V90 SD card, you move into a totally new system. A lot of the video cameras nowadays come with dual or dual hybrid slots, and you're going to be getting SD card plus a second memory, usually a CF Express. You have your CF Express Type B. This is used by Nikon, Fuji, Canon, I believe now Panasonic. This is probably the most common high-speed memory type out there. Everything's moving this direction. If you remember the old XQD cards, this is their evolution. So in fact, a lot of the Nikon cameras that took XQD back in the day were given firmware updates, and they can actually use the CF Express Type Bs now, which are much faster, much better cards. You have to get a new reader, but it's worth it. These are as fast as a card can get. The ProMaster Velocities are my personal favorite. You're getting a very fast card at a very affordable price. We also carry the Lexars, Delkins. There's a few good options out there. This will handle anything a current camera can do. These are future-proof cards. They're gonna be around for a very long time. So there's nothing the cameras out there can do nowadays that this will not handle. Now, if you're a Sony shooter, like myself, a lot of video people are, Sony is focusing a lot on compactness. So they created their own memory type. This is the CF Express Type A. Very different from B. The slots will not work with each other. It's about half the size of a CF Express Type B. In fact, this thing is smaller than an SD card. yet the speed's significantly faster. These ones are a bit of a newer memory type, so they are going to fetch a little bit bigger of a price, especially the Sony Tough series. These are amazing cards, but they are expensive. Now, there's a few other companies out there making some, but if you are doing Sony video, this is worth it. This is what I swapped over for my FX3. I can record anything internally that camera is capable of. 4K, 120 frames a second, the best codec and all the data possible in log. I can even go into slow and quick mode. There's nothing this can't handle on the Sony cameras. There are a ton of options out there. The main thing is just figuring out what your camera needs. Come on into the store. We can walk you through all of it. If you know your camera, you know what you're trying to shoot, then we can get you the card that fits what you're doing best. So come check it out.